Hello everyone, I welcome you to my small modding guide which I put together for Resident Evil 4 remake modding, but honestly you should be able to mod any other Resident Evil engine games that are out there and using the current version of Resident Evil engine. So I will guide you through the whole process, give you all the necessary information and scripts that you might need to quickly and efficiently do your work, and I hope it will be clear. I try to be as thorough as possible. Okay, let's get into it. So first, I will talk a little bit about the structure of the sound files. So basically, Resident Evil engine has two main folders. In the whole structure, it's something like this. So basically you have these natives, STM, and under that there are like a chainsaw and the streaming chainsaw folder structure. Beside these folders, the content is sound, VVIs, and then all the audio files for your game. And basically these two main folders, the chainsaw and the streaming, are connected to each other. So if you check this sheet I put together, for the chainsaw folder you will see these files, and in the streaming chainsaw these files. And you will notice that, for example, let's see a random dialogue, 13. In the streaming folder you will see this BNK file and one PCK file, and also the same named PCK file will be in the streaming folder as well. This is just a property of Resident Evil engine because it stores and splits files this way, but we will need to take this into account, and all the modding comes down to successfully determine which type of modding we need and then execute the given steps. And I guarantee all of the files, at least those types I encountered, will work if you follow the following methodologies. Okay, so I will start at the point where all the necessary tools are already installed on my computer. So you will see this article on Nexus Mods, and here you will see all the applications that you need to download and configure to be able to start with this. I will check here is what types we actually have when modding these Resident Evil audio files. The first type I would call the standard type. This means it will consist of 3 files, the same structure as I discussed in the intro section, and there will be a link between the BNK and the PCK, and you will see it in Fusion Tools in a moment. These are the easiest to mod because you can basically do anything. First thing first, we can't access these files that easily. So to access it, if you check the folder where you have the game installed, you won't really see BNK and PCK files, but you will see these PAC files. So we need some method to actually unpack them and grab the content that lies inside. Okay, so for this, I mentioned in the download instructions section that you need this RE tool on your computer. If you have this, unpack it. Voila. I will just quickly drop this out and I will just drop the content here so we see it more clearly. Okay, this is the default config you will see when you download this RE tool. But to be able to extract this specific game, you will need to use some of the files I prepared. So this is the resource that you can download from Nexus Mods. Let's unpack it. I will do the very same as before, just put out the content and delete all the remainders. And here you will find this retool config. And just grab this 2 file, press copy, and just drop it here. One will need to be overwritten, but yeah, press yes, that's the main goal of this, because that will configure these 2 highlighted files together. And then what we need is we go back to our game folder, and like the 95% of actual sounds will be residing in this file. And if you check the size, it's huge. So what you will need to do is grab this file and drop it above this extract PA key bet. So it's finished the process. You will see some ending messages, and after that you can close this and actually access your contents. And as I showed, there will be a natives STM, and here you will see this intersection. So either you go into the chainsaw or the streaming first. In the chainsaw sound vwise, you will see a lot of files dumped here. So what I showed here were the English files, but you can see other languages here. It depends on your niche which one you wish to mod. And basically this is a complete jungle. So you have to like start grabbing files one by one and start listening into them to actually find out what's stored in there. So for example, this CHA0, if you check some files, you will see that's Leon's voice lines, SFX, and all the other audio. So you can assume all the other CHA0 will belong to Leon, and that will be true. For example, CHA1 will be Ashley, and so on and on and on. You will get into it. And for the streaming, we will see some similarities here as well. Purely the PCK files, for example, some Leon related PCK files. And that's all how you unpack. Okay, so what I did was just actually grab out some files, both from Chainsaw and Streaming Chainsaw, that we will mod together. And the next step is, if you check the folder I gave you, you will see some prepared folders, and you will see some scripts placed them just for convenience purposes. So the first thing is, if you locate which of the BN keys and PC keys you want to mod, you just grab them and drop it into this work directory of the modding resources. And then we will need to make these files somewhat accessible for Fusion Tools, because Fusion Tools won't be able to open this like .en files. For this, you can use this moddable extension bet file. If you run it, it will convert these files to actually usable format for the application. Do the same for Streaming Chainsaw. Run this moddable extension bet. We are done. Open Fusion Tools. Here you select vwise editor, and let's look into these files. So this, I said, will be a type 1 modding. So for this, we will go for the CSB 135 dialog PCK or BNK. Let's start with the BNK. If you open it, you will see a sound file, but it won't play. So it just jumps and that's it. This means that there's like what I call it a link between the BNK and the PCK, but the actual content is not here. But from the link, you can see that it will be a type 1. If you open the PCK from the same name, you will see this track, but the length is 0. So it is just a chain between the other files. We won't be able to get the audio from this. So in this case, we go into the Streaming Chainsaw folder and grab the very same file, which is in size bigger. And here the length will show actually something different than 0. And if you select it and play it, you will hear Leon.
You were a fine night, Don Quixote.
And this is the file that we need to mod. So the very first step is actually grabbing a WAV version of it. In this work directory, you put it in this folder, and when it asks for export with name, you just press now. Okay, so at this point we have our audio file. We open Audacity and we just drop this file here. So this is the original.
You were a fine night.
And now we need to somehow create the version that we wish to replace it with. I did it beforehand, so we won't take time with it. And this is just a very sad soundtrack because it's a sad moment in the game. I just lower the volume a little bit, and if you play, you can hear this sound in the background.
Don Quixote.
And the two together sounded somewhat similar in volume. So what I usually do is, when I have the edited audio on the second line, on the first line I select the whole stuff. I go into edit, special editing, and this is some silencing in English, sound silencing or something similar. And I just silence the whole track. The next, I cut the points where I want the insertion to happen. So it will be edit, audio clips, and split. I do the same for this one. I just simply select the middle, delete it, insert the remainder, drop the second line, and we have our track. Just for convenience, I usually save the Audacity project itself. This goes in this AUP folder. And then, in the last step, we go File, Export Sound, and here, what I do with the modded content, I usually put an underscore before it. Keep the other parts of the name, this is how the scripts will look for them. For the options, you need 48 kilohertz, and for the coding sign 16-bit PCM. Also include the whole project, and it goes in this underscore wav file folder. We're done. Audacity can be closed. Also, Fusion Tools can be closed. We won't need it during this modding process. Okay, so we have our very own edited file, but the game uses WAM, not WAV, so we need to convert it into WAM. For this, what we use vwise. Let's open it, select vwise, and launch your installed version, create a new one, and here you can name it anyhow, it doesn't really matter, but aim for the same directory where you put all the other resources so far. If you have this, then it will be really easy, because we don't really need to change settings in type 1 scenarios. We just go into project, we go import audio files, and in this files section we just browse our edited file. Here you need to check if it's like a sound, voice, or an SFX. This should be set beforehand, so don't miss this. This is like a sound, okay, sound, voice, import it, and under actor mixer hierarchy, if you press this little plus, you will see your file here. And the only thing we need now is to actually convert it into WAM. And for that project, convert all audio files, and voila, we are done. Now you can close vwise completely. If you go into the folder you created for the vwise project, go into Cache, Windows, Voices, English. This is your converted file. Go back to our main structure and put it in underscore WAM. Okay, so you see some scripts here. The only thing for this type we need is the normalize, because the name is totally messed up. Run the normalize script, and you see the name is really great now. Okay, we have the WAM, now let's merge it. If you remember, we extracted this WAM from the PCK from the streaming folder, but as we see, the BNK file has a link to it, because when we opened the BNK in Fusion Tools, there was the line with the same ID. And this enables us to actually put our modded content straight into the BNK file. And that is why this is the easiest approach. Start ringing bloom. For mode, select Resident Evil 2 Remake. And as I said, we will put this into the BNK. Choose that. Import the BNK. This is the good directory, and this is the file we are modding right now. If it asks for labels, just ignore it. And under data indexes, this is the WAM, and this is the ID you could see so far. You right click, replace, and in the replace window, go into underscore WAM and grab the WAM we created in vwise. Name can stay like this, ID never change it, and you are done. Export it, and for the export, I'm going to chainsaw and basically just override this file. And yes, okay, We have our modded BNK. PC case doesn't need to be changed because this step completely override everything, and it will just play the sound that we put it into the BNK and nothing else. So we are good to go. And for that, let me go back to this chainsaw folder. And here, if you remember, the first step was to run this toModdable extension. Now we need to revert it to the original folder because otherwise the game won't recognize it. And that's what this other bet does to game extension. Run it, and we have our original BNK here. Let's copy it. And in the same work directory I prepared for you, you will see this mod template. In the mod template itself, in mod info, in you can like set anything. This will show in Fluffy. And under natives, you have the two main folders for audio modding, BNK coming from the chainsaw, so I put it here. And that's all. I go back to our mod template, grab these two files, zip it together, name it like anything, it doesn't matter at all, and this is our mod. This you can like upload to Nexus Mods as well. And what we will do is open the mod folder of Fluffy and just paste it there. And if you open Fluffy and check the miscellaneous, you will see this QWE here. And if you enable it, you will see copied one files. Of course, we have one file, but this is the important modified one path in game archives. If you don't see modification appearing, then you basically either missed the folder structure or you didn't name the file back to the very original format. And that's it. We already modded our first type 1 scenario. So we finished our type 1 run before. Now let's get to type 2. This is very similar. You will see strangely similar files. So one BNK and two PCKs. Nothing changes from the outside, but let's check it. I already have it prepared. So under chainsaw, our candidate is the BNK and this specific file. Dialog voice first. This is basically the in-game voice lines of Leon that he say in the beginning of the game. And if you open it, you will get this pop-up that this BNK doesn't contain any VAMs. And this means one thing, there is no link that you can use for the audio replacement. In this scenario, you need to get deeper in the structure. So let's get the PCK first. In the PCK, you will see several VAMs listed, but the length is always 0. So it will be similar to the previous, the type 1, that the streaming chainsaw folder will contain the actual data. Let's open it. And this is it. And yes, the lengths are shown properly now. And for this, let me just check. We will edit this 7252. So this is it.
Anyone home?
So this is when you enter the very first house in the game and Leon just ask around if like anyone home. Okay, how we handle this? So the first thing is to actually extract the audio file as well. This will go again in the WAV folder. When it asks for the name, just press no. And another thing you need to do here is export it as WAM as well, just for reference regarding the size. This will go into this WAM folder right here. Do the same steps, and just for curious, interesting part, if you press this icon, you will have options to export all the files as WAV or as WAM. So if you want to go through all like 600 or such files, it can like export everything with one click. Okay, what we have here? Okay, I'm kind of losing myself with the structure, so let's just open it. Not the retool, this one. Okay, and what we need to do next is the same as before. So the only difference so far that we extracted the WAM as well. Now we have this original audio, and then I need the one that I prepared, or the one that you guys will put together, and this is 72, and we need the one for 72. This is just, if I remember correctly, some Michael Jackson.
Anyone home?
Oh yes, exactly. And yeah, it's super noisy, so I will just tune it down.
Anyone home?
Sounds okay. And I will do the very same steps as before, so nothing new here. Just cut the audio properly. Just like that. Save the project in the EUP folder, then go for the export, and _wav is the target where you need to export. Don't forget the underscore in the name. Settings are the same. Export. Audacity can be closed. Perfect. And the next thing in vwise, we will do things a little bit differently. So you can use the previous project, but I just create another one here. And now for the difference. Before we import anything, we open project, go for project settings, and under project settings, source settings, there will be this conversion settings. Go for the little dots and select Vorbis quality medium. Okay, now we can import. So import audio files, add files, and what we need will be here. And this is our audio file. Perfect. This is also a sound voice, and perfect. And for the conversion, we will do things a little bit differently. For the conversion, if you open this file and check on the right part, there will be this conversion tab, and this is the option we already selected in the project settings, and there will be an edit button next to it. Press it, and this will be your friend for a while. And here is the export options, how we can build our VAM. Select 48,000 first for the sample rate. For format, select VAM Opus, and for quality, we will see exactly what we need. So our goal here is to match the bitrate of the original VAM file with the new one. So basically, if the original is at 30, we need to set the quality to 30. Let's check it. So to check the original's bitrate, we will need to open foobar 2000, and in this we grab the original VAM. So this is where we put it out in the first place. And here you can see that the bitrate is 29. Okay, so we go back to vwise, set the quality to 29, go into audio source, press one left click, and press Shift C, which brings in the conversion window, and do the conversion. Okay, so what we actually have here. In our vwise project, this is the file that we built, and this is the original VAM we have. If we check the size of the original VAM, we will see that it's 3020 bytes. The one we created is 3058, and this is actually a problem, because in type 2, 3, and 4, you need to completely match the size in bytes of the original VAM. And well, it's already bigger, and it won't work, because if there is a smaller file, we can pad it with zeros and reach the desired size. If it's exactly matching, then we are happy, but if it's bigger, we are doomed. So we cannot go with the 29 bitrate. We just git out the file, and now we start lowering it. We lower it with 1, click it, Shift C, and convert. And we check the new one. And the new file looks like small already, so we are happy. This will be our winner. And go back to our work directory into this _VAM folder and paste it. I will delete the old WAM file so I can clearly see what's going on. The first step is really the same. We normalize it. We have a normalized file, but the size won't match. So the size is the same, lower than the original. So we need to set the size to 3020. And for this, you can use this padding solution I put here. So basically just run the pad.bat file. It will tell you that it's patched and padded if it's successfully done. If the size was already the same, you will see some already done. And if you put in like a bigger file, it will write an error. So you will see that something went wrong. Close it and let's check it. And the size is 3020. So we are good to go. And just for showing it, I run it again and see, already done. Okay, we have our WAM and we need to put this WAM inside our PCK because as you remember, BNK file didn't have anything when we opened it. Even we got an error pop-up. And what we do here is open Ringing Bloom again. We select Resident Evil 2 Remake and now we go for the PCK. We import our PCK and the PCK will be in streaming chainsaw and this is our candidate. We just ignore the labels and the ID we were editing is this one. So you press, let me show you my method. I usually go with the master place, odd WAMs, and here I select the WAM and next to it there's a .1 and you need to find the matching with the same number. At least if you continue my naming preferences, it will need to look for the very same named one. Confirm it. Okay, so my recording just crashed. So we were at this point where we selected our matching WAM and we going for export, selecting the streaming chainsaw folder, and this is the file we were modding. And this is it. We are completely done with the steps, and to put it into the mod template folder and creating a mod from it, it's actually the very same as for the previous one. Just always check if it's the audio file coming from a streaming chainsaw or a simple chainsaw folder, and always put it in the matching one. So for example, this one should go for the streaming chainsaw folder in the mod structure. Let's just talk a little bit about type 3. So type 3 is a single BNK situation. So you will find a BNK, but you won't find any related PC keys for it. So one example is this voice media file that holds Leon's all SFX grounds, combat noises, so basically anything from coughing to grunting, suffering, taking damage, knifing an enemy, etc. These files are modded the very same way as type 2. I won't put together a complete path for that as well, because it's really the same and it will take up more than 10 minutes from your life, and trust me, it's the same. The only difference is that you don't import and export from a PCK but from a BNK, and that's all. You do everything the very same way as in type 2 and you will be good to go. Okay, and type 4, that is a tricky one, because type 4 looks just like type 1 and type 2. And well, let's a little get a little into it. No, wrong folder. This is it. Okay, so what we will see if we open this structure. For that, this will be the ch0 voice. Open Fusion Tools and try loading the BNK first. And if you try to open the BNK, it will most likely say that, okay, nothing there. So from this information, you might assume it's a type 2, and you will be right. Let's see what's in the PCK. Okay, the very same situation that happening before. So we go for the streaming chainsaw folder and this one. And voila, we have everything that we were looking for. And here, this is the one I want to show you, because this is the death sound that Leon makes when in the first section in the village gauntlet he gets stabbed by the chainsaw guy and dies. Let me just lower the volume a little bit. So this big huge screaming, and this is what we want to mod. And imagine we are doing the whole type 2 flow on it. We don't do any mistake at all. We do everything perfectly. We put it in the game, and when you launch the game and go into this gauntlet section and get yourself killed by the Salvador guy, you won't hear anything. It will be muted. And sometimes when you find a type 2 and you do everything perfectly and you double check everything and it's still perfect, there's like a 99% that you encountered actually a type 4 scenario. And the difference between type 2 and type 4, which you are not able to see from the outside, is how the spreading of the audio content lies between these BNK and PCKs. And in this voice MO example, or the one that we checked together, there are no spread placement, basically. Let me call it. I don't know what's the official name for it. But in type 4, the content is spread between the BNK and the two PCKs. And it's impossible to actually replace them in the same manner. So if you mod this file, you most likely end up putting all your modded content under the streaming chainsaw folder. Because the PCK that had the file originally lies there. But there is one thing that we need to tell the engine, that we got rid of this spread placement and we put all our audio in this one single file, and the game engine should only look for this file and basically grab the information out it. So we need to convert our type 4 into a type 2 type of situation. So all the modding that we did for it will actually work. Okay, I will fast forward to the very same steps. So I will execute the same stuff that we did for the type 2, but for the type 4, and I will show you the very last step that you actually need to execute here to achieve victory. I did everything the same way as for a type 2, but as I said, it doesn't working right now. So in this scenario, this is the file that we actually modded, and we find the matching B and K file because all the main controlling information is within the BNK itself. And we need to tell the BNK that we unified all the data, it's no longer spread, and just look for that one single location and play the audio from there. And this is where we use this unify script I put together. Run the bat file. It will ask for the complete location of the BNK. So that you need to give the complete path for that. Like this. Press enter. And here you need to provide the VM IDs. Every VM ID that you need to enable that you modded basically. So in our scenario, it's like only one, which is this. And for the ID, oh no, sorry, this one. This is the death sound modded. And the ID is just the number, nothing else. And you need to create a list separated by either a comma or a space. I usually do it in Excel or something similar to stuff that just joins everything together. And press enter. And if you see that it got unified and it actually saved the changes in the BNK, you are good to go. So in the type 2 situation, we modded only the PCK in the streaming chainsaw folder, but for a type 4, we always mod the BNK in the chainsaw folder. Okay, let me put together the mods. Just one more clarification before we jump into the game. So in our mod that we put together, in the native section under chainsaw, you will find the type 1 we did together, and the manipulated BNK for the type 4. And in the streaming, you will see this for type 2, and this is where I created the very same steps that we did together for the type 2, but for the type 4 scenario. This is the pair of the manipulated BNK in the previous folder. Let's see it, what we did. And with this, our little guide is over, and we covered all the types of audio that I could actually encounter during creating my completely own voice changer project, and I hope you liked it. I really hope that all the explanation and the speed was okay and easy to follow and understand. If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them, and happy modding!